You sit across from someone you trust, forcing a perfectly neutral smile as you tell a terrible lie. Your face remains completely still. You never notice that the air around your skin is actively betraying you. How exactly does your invisible chemical footprint reveal the truth before your words even leave your mouth? You think deception is entirely about language. You watch carefully for wandering eyes. You listen closely for a cracking voice, falsely assuming the human face is the ultimate canvas of truth. But the real answer is far stranger. Your spoken words are just the shiny surface of a deep biological ocean. Beneath your skin, a microscopic chemical rebellion is actively taking place. Why do humans constantly leak their deepest secrets right into the open air? Deception requires an immense cognitive load. Your brain has to juggle two violently conflicting realities at the exact same time. It suppresses the actual truth while simultaneously constructing and maintaining a fragile architecture of total fiction. This daily mental gymnastics takes an astounding amount of raw metabolic energy. Your heart rate spikes just a fraction of a single beat. Can you feel the creeping shift happening deep inside your core body temperature? Most people assume liars sweat simply because they are socially nervous. It is actually much more specific and biological than that. For 99.9% of human history, surviving meant instantly recognizing a loyal friend from a dangerous foe. Your ancient ancestors did not have access to modern polygraph machines or complex forensic analysis. They relied heavily on an ancient, highly evolved chemical broadcast system known as chemosignaling. Why would evolution deliberately wire your own sweat glands to blindly broadcast your dishonesty? Look closely at your apocrine glands. These tiny, tightly coiled structures are heavily clustered around your underarms and your face. They do not just produce water to cool your hot skin down. They violently pump out a complex cocktail of volatile organic compounds, or VOCs, the moment your brain perceives the threat of being caught. Your body doesn't know the difference between the modern social danger of a lie and the ancient physical danger of a predator. The primal physiological panic response is exactly the same. Do you realize how incredibly fast these microscopic truth molecules flood the room? Scientists have recently begun capturing these invisible biological confessions. Atmospheric chemist Jonathan Williams conducted groundbreaking behavioral studies measuring the chemical air quality inside crowded cinemas. He discovered that human breath and sweat release incredibly specific chemical signatures depending on the exact emotional tension present in the room. When collective human anxiety peaks, the baseline chemical makeup of the surrounding air physically and measurably changes. Researchers at the Max Planck Institute have further proven that these airborne chemical fear signals trigger immediate defense responses in the brains of nearby people. How much of your daily intuition is actually just your nose quietly processing invisible airborne data? Then there is the bizarre physiological phenomenon regarding the temperature of your lying face. You might easily think the classic Pinocchio story is just a harmless childhood fairy tale. Evolution had a different plan. Renowned neuroscientist Emilio Gomez Millan utilized highly advanced thermal imaging technology to study exactly what happens to a human face during a stressful deception. He shockingly discovered that when you lie, the temperature around your nose actually drops, while the heat concentrated in your inner eye muscles suddenly spikes. Are you beginning to finally see how mathematically impossible it is to hide your true intentions? This extreme, sudden thermal shift triggers a bizarre physical chain reaction. As the warm blood flow around your nose drastically changes, the soft tissue slightly expands. This microscopic swelling can cause a subtle, almost completely imperceptible physical itch. When people lie, they frequently touch their noses to instinctively soothe this invisible, maddening irritation. But here's the twist. This exact same facial temperature fluctuation also completely alters the way your facial sweat actively vaporizes, transforming the specific odor profile you release into the atmosphere. Who knew your own biological shell was designed to act as a harsh chemical whistleblower?
Your active deception creates a completely unique, heavily sulfur-tinged bouquet of stress hormones. You cannot actually smell this distinct chemical signature yourself. Conscious human olfaction is notoriously weak compared to almost every other mammal. Yet the subconscious, primal brains of the people sitting directly around you are actively drinking this raw information in. Their sensitive amygdala processes the drastic chemical change almost instantly. They suddenly and inexplicably feel a vague sense of deep, gnawing distrust. Have you ever wondered why you instantly dislike someone new without a single logical reason to point to? You were most likely smelling their active cognitive dissonance. Your highly tuned brain perfectly translates their chemical stress into a powerful, undeniable gut feeling of deep suspicion. You do not consciously register the sharp scent of raw cortisol or heavy adrenaline pumping through their veins. You simply perceive their physical presence as deeply, fundamentally fake. This invisible survival system bypasses verbal language entirely, heavily protecting you from manipulation by alerting you to the invisible friction hanging thickly in the air. What else is your incredible nose silently telling you right now? Modern life daily forces you to navigate a complex, unending web of polite social fictions. You wear synthetic deodorant, you carefully control your breathing, and you endlessly practice your fake stories in the bathroom mirror. You falsely believe you have fully mastered the dark art of the perfect poker face. You truly think you are completely in control of the surrounding narrative. You sit across from someone you trust, forcing a perfectly neutral smile as your scent tells them the terrible truth.